My name is Miya Jones. I'm one of the programming coordinators. And just to tell you a little bit about Long Island Girl Talk and what we're about. It is a 501c3 nonprofit that was founded by the lovely Marcia McNair in 2013. Yes, happy that. She's a powerhouse. I mean, and what she's done with this organization is really, really awesome. She's awesome. She's a former Essence editor. She's a professor here. She's amazing. She's doing great work with this organization. So, and I love her. So. Thank you. So with Long Island Girl Talk, we teach young girls how to create their own voices and their own stories using media, which is important. We teach them how to work a camera, we teach them interviewing skills, and we also teach them foundational skills like reading and writing, which is important as well. And this year, the girls are really sharp. I mean, this is an awesome, awesome, awesome group of girls. I mean, even when we were rehearsing for today, we went through rehearsals like twice in like 20 minutes. That's how on point they were. They're well-read, they participate, they have fun, and they're just a really awesome group of girls. And I love chatting it up with them every Saturday. They're awesome. So, I know when I joined the organization almost a year ago, and I joined last year thanks to Natasha Nurse, who was the programming coordinator before, and she was awesome with the girls. And when I saw her work with the girls and when I saw Marcia with them, I was like, wow, I wish I knew about this organization when I was younger. Because I'm in media, I'm a journalist, and when I saw the things that they do, I was like, this is a much needed organization, especially for young girls, and especially young girls of color. How we can be portrayed in the media, so to have an organization like this where they can create their own and do for themselves, it's awesome. So I'm going to introduce the lovely Soledad. She came to us, she has her own organization, Bold Minds, with her husband, and she agreed to partner with Long Island Girl Talk to help us out. And I'm not gonna lie, when I heard that Natasha was moving on to her next chapter, the former programming coordinator was moving on, I was like, oh man, like, oh gosh, I'm a little nervous. I'm gonna have to head this by myself, you know? So, but Soledad joined on, and she's absolutely awesome. She really took it on full force. She always makes sure the girls have a good time. She always makes sure that they learn something. And she also has some great ideas. She's doing great things. We're doing virtual reality, which is, you know, the wave of the future. We're trying to, you know, we're helping these girls with that. So I can't wait to see what they do in the future. And I want to introduce the lovely Soledad.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the introduction. How's everybody today? Good. You guys are feeling great today? Yes. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Just like Miya said, my name is Soledad Maurice Bolden, and I am the founder of Bold Minds. It's an youth mentoring organization that I started last year. And from that moment on, it's just been life-changing. I'll tell you a little bit about me. I know you're like, what is Bold Minds? What is this? So it's a mentoring program. The acronym MINDS is MYNDS, which is Maximizing Youth Nobility, Driving Success. And we use that as a tool to get these kids to hone in on their creative nature. So a little bit about me, I'm from UNDL. I was born in Brooklyn, moved to UNDL, went to UNDL High School, went to Turtle Hook. Yes, I graduated with your sister. And we worked, my first job, we worked together, so yes. Yes. For college, I went to University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, where I got my bachelor's. And then I went to Brooklyn College, where I got my master's in education, and I was a teacher in Brooklyn for 4 years. And I've been working with kids for over 10 years. So, and I taught in middle school. So anyone that knows middle school kids, it's rough. But for me, it was the best challenge because I ran that. I'm not gonna lie, I ran that school. I did. I was the STEM coach. I taught STEM with NYU. They hired me to teach STEM at the school. I've done so much, so I understand where the lack is. And that's what I brought to Bold Minds, to bring in the technology, to bring in the film, which Marcia, I cannot speak enough about Marcia. which Marsha gave me the avenue to bring in that creativity with Long Island Girl Talk. So it's been a pleasure, Marsha. You are such a brilliant young lady.
Yes.
Woman.
This is on the young.
and the fact that just the people that you're surrounded with, we know, right? And young ladies, I hope you know the people that is in your circle is who basically you're aspiring to be like. You know, the people that is going to, that you're getting your advice from. So we look at your 5 closest friends, we could see where your future is going, right? And it's not till I got older that I really understood that. You know, I was the type that I'm too strong-minded to be like everyone else that's in my circle, but it's so true. You really got to pull yourself out. Even if you're the positive person in your circle, eventually you have to move and find, you know, that support system that shares the same value as you. I'm not ranting off, but you know, I'm just saying that because you are the glue to this organization and to Long Island Girl Talk and to us to be being here today at Nassau Community College for this event. Thank you so much. Thank you. So there's a pledge that we do every Saturday with Bold Minds. So I have not only girls part of my organization, we also have young men as well. But once they heard Long Island Girls, it's like, we're gonna be around girls. So come January, they're getting more accustomed. They're seeing, they're hearing from others of what they're doing. So they're a little more comfortable now. So girls, I know you've done this, but I would like for everyone to participate in this pledge. So I'm gonna say the first few words, and then you'll just repeat. You repeat after me, basically, when I pause. So I am. Oh, we sound like we're sleeping. I need you guys to speak up. This is a moment where we are sharing together. I want that energy.
Maybe they should stand up.
Oh yes, can we stand? See, that's right. That's right. Yes. All right. I am bold. I will maximize my potential for greatness. I am building a noble character. I am driven to accomplish my goals. Success belongs to me in my way. I am bold. All right. Thank you so much. So at this time, we're going to have JANI Raymond, who is one of our Girl Talk members, to present a few of our students. And she's the mistress of ceremony today.
Hello. So right now we will have some of our girls present to you guys their poems and essays they have wrote during our Saturday sessions. First off, we have ALANA. Thank you.
I'm ALANA ANTOINE, and I will be reading to you my poem entitled I Am. I am competitive. I am versatile. I can cook. I can play the bass. I play multiple sports. I can speak French. Sports, French, music, cooking. These are my enjoyments. I am me.
Thank you, ALANA. Next up we have ANGELICA Brown.
Hi, my name is Angelica, and I have a poem titled I Am. I am bold. I am like a run-on sentence that never finishes. I am a girl who loves to spend time with my family and friends. But when people say you're not pretty, you look like a rat, you think I care. I'll rise like the moon and sun.
Thank you, Angelica. That was beautiful. Next we have BRIANNA.
Hi, my name is BRIANNA, and I'm going to read my poem. I am not what you think of me. I am young, creative, and bold. Determined is a trait that defines me. Pediatrician is the word that creates me. Cold-hearted and broken will I was. Strong and fierce I am. Medical school is my future. Failure maybe I fear. Careless but careful, broken but lovely. funny with a different attitude, swimming in music she cares for while hearing and diagnosing awake.
You go, girl. Thank you, Brianna. Next, we have a personal essay by Monique.
Hi. So this might be an odd topic, but my topic is about how gaming changed my life. So, mobile gaming is beginning to impact all areas of media. From competitive to single-player games, they can be enjoyed by all ages. It just doesn't seem to be accepted by both genders. I play competitive games. I learn characters and other aspects of the game. By using the characters I play, every match I enter in the game is a test of my knowledge and my skill. As a girl, however, people continue to underestimate my potential. I realize that gaming is just a digital reflection of the real world. I feel like gaming is very misunderstood in general. But when a girl likes to game, she's questioned or criticized for liking a boy's expertise. There aren't enough girls who play competitively to disprove this point, so people keep believing it. Girls can play games too, and it's unfair that people look down on them so much. Gaming isn't for every girl, but that doesn't mean there's no girl in the world who plays the game. The world of competitive gaming is heavily criticized as the male players are seen as having no life and more. So what are we teaching ourselves here if guys and girls alike can't do something they love without being bashed for it? I'll never fully understand the world and its issues with others. I can fully understand something that I love and enjoy. I can make friends with someone who loves and enjoys what I do. Female gamers don't always play games just to search for guys. We play because that's what we love. I've learned a lot about societal issues all around the world from my experiences and others' experiences. All in all, I think that people should gain knowledge on the gaming world and its players. Behind the screen, players are people, adults and children of any age and gender. We should begin to accept the fact that girls can do whatever guys can do. I feel like gamer girls can be an invisible force. Someday we have to prove everyone wrong. Thank you.
Thank you, player one. We will now have... I didn't tell her to say that. That was
So at this time, we are going to present awards to our honoraries. We have KEIERRA that will come up to present the first award.
Good morning. My name is KEIERRA, and I am introducing Assemblywoman Taylor Darling for the Visionary Community Leadership Awards. Taylor Darling was elected as a member of the New York State Assembly representing the 18th District in 2018. Taylor was born in Brooklyn and spent time growing up throughout Europe while her father was serving in the military. An avid chess player, Darling was nationally ranked as a youth, a child prodigy. She enrolled Spelman College at the age of 16 and was accepted into Hofstra's psychology doctoral program at age 19. She has worked in several industries, creating and implementing systems to increase efficiency, productivity, and profitability. Taylor's holistic and humanistic approach kept her in high demand in the private sector. However, the growing needs of her community began to require her attention. Taylor's sister, Sydney, was her biggest supporter and best friend gave her a challenge. You get paid to fix things, fix our community. What followed was a story that reads like David and Goliath. In 2018, Taylor defeated a 30-year incumbent. It is Taylor's greatest honor and privilege to represent the beautiful 18th District. Taylor resides with her incredible family in Long Island, New York. It is my honor to introduce Assemblywoman Taylor Darling.
Thank you so much, Long Island Girl Talk, for this beautiful award. I have been so inspired by this organization since my niece and I think both my nieces and one of my daughters at one point was really, really passionate about this, and my niece, Ryan Daniel, to watch her blossom because of this experience. I'm so excited to be here. You are incredible. Thank you for your vision. Thank you for all the work and effort you put in here. We were really excited because we were able to secure some funding for Long Island Girls Talk. Because we all know, as much as hard work and community and togetherness is important, we need resources, right? We need to work hard to close the wealth gap as we work hard to close a lot of the other inequities that our communities deal with. But to see our young girls in situations where they have a voice and they're encouraging each other and they're learning an important transferable skill set, this is something that we all have to support. I'll tell you a little secret. My dad always knew I was going to be a leader, whether I liked it or not. Unfortunately, both my parents aren't here right now. They both died. And I think that's why they invested with the tenacity that they did. They knew their time was limited. I don't know how, but he, entered us into the world of chess. We played chess 7 days a week, competed 2 days a week, practiced 5 days a week. And because he wanted me to be able to speak to everyone and anyone, he had me participate in this storytelling competition where I had to memorize stories and then recite them throughout Brooklyn. And I didn't understand the point of it, and I definitely liked the attention. But I'm up here now because somebody said you need to learn how to properly use your voice, and that's exactly what this program does. Even for the children who don't want to be in front of the camera, because that's not everyone's space, to watch how they help with production and writing and lighting and all of these important things that are specialized skill set, where I have a girl right now, she's doing the Olympics right now for lighting because they don't have many people who know how to do these things. So we need to make sure our girls are well trained to do all of these things, and that's why I say thank you for your vision. So yes, definitely give her, all of you have to give your hands up for him. So really quickly, I want to speak about vision. So I looked at the definition of vision, and vision is the ability to think about our plan or plan the future with imagination and wisdom. So I really wanted us to just sit in this room and think about what our visions are. This is not an age-specific thing. Our visions can change. Our visions can alter at any point. We can have new visions. We're allowed to do those things. So I want everyone to think about what their vision is. And now I want a young lady to volunteer and stand up and share what her vision is. Okay, if I have to pick on you, I don't know how you're gonna feel about that. Will someone volunteer to share what their vision is? One of our Long Island Girl Talkers. Wonderful, okay.
My vision is to honestly graduate early, to one day become a CEO. But at first, I've been learning to how to get into business and to that I can become a business analyst before I can reach the final step of becoming a CEO.
That is beautiful. And just like a CEO, she stood up in the room and was ready. And that's the thing. You have to be ready all the time. And I tell my team all the time, if we stay ready, we don't have to get ready. So that's where we need to be. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Let me know. I was a business analyst, so if you need anything, let me know. And I just wanted to go into some tips that have helped me as I supported high net worth individuals. And I think if you really want to learn, work for people who have done it, who are millionaires, billionaires. Work, and you learn so much just in dealing with their everyday. And it's my job to transfer that information to you guys. So, okay. I've learned a lot because of my great opportunities, and I want to share some tips. So, my first tip, which my dad would appreciate, he always said an honor student is 10 steps ahead. So, that's ahead of coursework. So you know how we get these agendas and we see we have a project in 2 months, but we're like, we have 2 months, it's fine. No. My dad would say, great, this week we start on the conceptual phase. The next week we start on making the prototype. The third week and I'm like, we have 2 months, relax. Like, get something else to do. But he was 100% right because it gave me an advantage of time. I wasn't rushing, I was able to, we had 3 prototypes for one of my science projects. I came 3rd in New York in the science fair, not because I like science, but because we took that time to plan and develop. So 10 steps ahead, guys. For my young lady who wants to graduate early, I did graduate early, 10 steps ahead. Just think about that. Always 10 steps ahead and over deliver. Always, they want 2 pages, you give them 2.5 or 3. Always over deliver. The next tip is to write everything down. So I travel with a notebook, and I also have my phone. I write everything down. I hear things. I was in the movie Frozen, and they said 2 lines that I wanted to make a speech about, so I wrote it down. You always want to be available and prepared with your tools so that you can write down what you hear. You never know when you're going to be inspired. Write down everything in your calendar. Now, God help me with being on time. I'm still working on that. Because when I feel it, if I'm at a meeting, I want to stay, and then that throws off the rest of my day. But I have important work, so people are very patient with me. But write everything down in your calendar. I had someone I supported, if he had a rough night entertaining clients, he would make me put brush teeth at 8 a.m. so he could get up and brush his teeth. But that man is worth about $75 million. So something's working. Write everything down in your calendar and stick to it. I don't care if you're 4, I don't care if you're 90. It works for me. To-do list. I live with a to-do list, so I'm always moving and reprioritizing. At least twice a day I go over my list. That helps me. That doesn't mean it has to work for everyone, but again, it goes to the writing things down. How many times do we forget something that we hear that we did not write down? Raise your hands if you've ever forgotten something. That could have been $1 million idea, that could have been your next wife, that could have been a lot of different things that we forgot to do. So definitely write everything down. Next, triple check all work, emails, and text. One of my clients only had one job outside of his own companies, and he said he almost got fired from Citibank because he sent out something that he did not triple check, and there was a very expensive error on that page, and they told him he had one more time to do that and he'd be fired, which is why he had his own businesses later. But it was important, and that was something he taught me. Triple check everything. It takes a little more time, but then you can be sure of that product because that product represents you, and as everyone in this room knows, we have to represent all of us all the time wherever we go. So we need to make sure that product is excellent. And the last thing, which is something new, I do have an executive assistant, thank God, but she's so inundated and I don't have a personal assistant. So what I do is I set alarms and alerts all the time. I stopped using my calendar on my phone because you can override those alarms. The alarms, like the alerts to wake you up, you cannot override those. So it forces me to say, okay, I was supposed to call Tina on Tuesday, so every Tuesday that alarm is gonna go off until Tina's called, and I don't delete that alarm until it's done. So those are some tips that have helped me, not because I'm better, but because I'm more organized than most people that I know, but only because this is something that has been beat into my head since birth, and it has served me very, very well. So guys, I am so proud of each and every one of you. I'm proud of all the work you've done and you'll continue to do, and I know you'll have a wonderful holiday season. I see moms and dads in here, and I'm just honored to be here. Thank you for this award.
Thank you so much, and I've had the pleasure to actually meet your mom, and she definitely set a high standard for the family, and also for the people that she worked with, the students that she worked with, a high, extremely high standard. She played no games. Serious, she's serious, she's about her business. Seriously, and a strong advocate for education. So I could attest to that, definitely. So our next honorary will be presented by Jade.
Good morning. My name is Jade LOISEAU, and I am introducing Verdel A. Jones for the Visionary Leadership in Media Award. Verdel A. Jones is a passionate educator and a longtime TV host of the popular show Conversations with Verdel Jones. As founder of LIGT Enterprises LLC, she has been able to provide various services including speaking and hosting events dedicated to supporting our community. Her annual Write, Rhythm, and Recite collective has awarded over $5,700 in scholarships to students attending college. Verdel's talk show, Conversations with Verdel Jones, is featured on MONIQUE and Strong Island Television. She's also the author of the must-have book, The Parent Agent: How to Represent Your Child and Get Them into the College of Their Choice. As an inspirational speaker, Verdel presents topics from education and media to family and relationships. Her family-run company, Miya Productions, works to provide cutting-edge media content. Verdel received her master's degree in educational leadership from Long Island University, a master's degree in secondary education from Hofstra University, and obtained a bachelor's degree in business administration from the University of Massachusetts at Boston. She has been married for over 30 years to her high school sweetheart and has 2 adult children. It is my honor to present to you Verdel A. Jones.
This is awesome. I am so pleased and so humbled to be honored for leadership in media. Marcia, thank you so much for having me and giving me this great award. To the girls in Long Island Girl Talk, this organization is just a blessing. I started my talk show maybe about 5 years ago, and I'm 50 now, and I started it when I was 45. So, you know, Maya's my daughter, and as she mentioned, she wished she would have known about an organization like this when she was pursuing her education in the area of media. It's just, you know, just to have our girls learn this business is really a needed thing. We often talk, you know, within our family, because we're all in media in some kind of way. We always talk about how we're represented in media and how we need to get our stories out and our stories told. And it really starts with our youth. And you girls are really on the right path to creating those stories that really represent who we are. Not what they want to put on, but what we really are. So I just want to, again, thank Marcia for her vision. 2020 is all about vision. You know, so you have to have that vision. And the tips that Assemblywoman Darling just mentioned, I need to write those down. Because I need to be more organized. And even at this age, there's still a lot of things that are still yet to be learned. So I would encourage all of you from Long Island Girl Talk to soak up all of the information that you're getting and look to your mentors. You have so many mentors in this room who are encouraging and want to see you succeed. So please take advantage of that. I will leave you with this. Like I said, 2020 is about vision. You know, make sure you have that vision. And I love the fact that we had to take a little pause to think about what our vision is. And my vision for 2020 is just to have more of these discussions about us in the media and how we're represented and the things we could do collectively. So again, I want to thank you so much for honoring me. It's been a pleasure, and thank you.